In this video, we're going to go over the 7-figure funnels that largest HVAC companies in the United States have, and we're going to break down the exact structure that these companies have on their online web presence that allows them to be 7-figure companies, right? And the 3 companies that we're looking at today, one is in San Diego, one is in Phoenix, Arizona, one is actually one of my clients in Madison, New Jersey. All 3 companies have an excellent web presence, and we're going to go, in order of kind of the features that they have, and what proponents of their business online allows them to be, 7-figure companies, right? And some of these companies are not only just doing $1 million a year, some of these companies do $1 million a month, right? So we're going to take a look at what makes these websites and companies the way they are. So the first one we're going to take a look at is AirPro in San Diego, California. And immediately when you go to the website, this company is a very clean website. It's structured very clearly. Immediately when you go into their page, you can see, in-game trust, right? Because their website's very cleanly organized. Immediately you're able to, you have a couple different options on how you want to reach them. You can either call them or you can request an estimate. And I can immediately see the reputation of their company from here. It says verified license, and immediately I can see their Google reviews, right? And what I really like about an effective main page on any HVAC company's websites is you need to be able to gain trust immediately and also have a call to action, right? So you don't want to just be sold outright when you come to a company's website. You also want to gain that trust, right? So seeing that they have a verified license, they have Google reviews, you scroll down here, see a couple pointers about their reviews on Google, on Yelp, and then see, that they're also active on social media. Having an emmed TikTok video is very good to show customers they're active on all their platforms and they really care about their company's, branding. The colors throughout this company shows also on their social media, and this is very effective. So another thing that, is very effective about AirPro's website is the fact that you can get a online quote, right? So without having to schedule a salesperson to come to your home, they have an online tool that allows you to, get an online quote. So when you click this, it's going to take you through an AC cost calculator, and you can, go through this type form estimate tool and actually select what type of home you have, the square footage, tell them the zip code that you're in, and what they're going to do is they're going to email and text you a estimate, and then they're actually going to have a customer representative call you to see if any questions about the estimate. So having a tool that allows a customer to be able to get a price and express interest without having a salesperson show up to the door immediately, gives customers a variety of options. So what I really like about AirPro, I think they're on the smaller scale of things. They do at least $1 million a year, but when it comes to a month, I don't know if they come closer to $1 million per month. But I can guarantee you they're on their way because their branding on multiple social media platforms is excellent. You can see everything about their brand on their website. They have discounts and promos to show people what's going on, help people keep up to date, and they also have multiple options for customers to get pricing, and having different options to where customers might not immediately want you to come to the door. It kind of builds trust, and you want to give customers who really aren't there yet, they don't trust you yet, they want you to come to their home, give them an option to build that trust. Maybe having someone talk to them on the phone will build that trust to allow you to send a salesperson in and then get the sale there, right? If another company doesn't have an online estimate tool, then they're losing out a particular audience that isn't ready for that step yet. So having this available is very helpful. Another thing they can see is they their Google reviews, and where AirPro I've seen, while they do have excellent reviews, I did a Google search on HVAC in San Diego, and I think this company, they don't prioritize, or they're not spending as much on Google ads, and they're not really focusing that much on Google local SEO, so they don't really show up immediately when you search for their company. So one test of that is look up HVAC San Diego, like in the city that look up HVAC in the city that you're in, and I'm not going to really see them anywhere. So even if they are spending money on Google ads, it's not enough to where they're showing up immediately when I look for them. However, when I go to Facebook, we can see that they're running ads on Facebook, and AirPro in San Diego, this company, they're advertising on so AirPro San Diego, their advertisements on let me go find their Facebook page, and then we can go over what makes their advertising so good on Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook is offer-based advertising, and this is the best place for you to run advertisements. The next step would be to focus on intent focus advertising, which is Google, but that is a little bit more expensive. So Facebook is going to be your first stepping stone into that. So as you can see here, they're running a lot of video ads.
You're probably wondering when the best time is to upgrade your heating and AC.
That's really good because they actually have representatives from their company talking in these videos, so it adds a real personal touch.
You can get a furnace for free when you buy an AC.
And all their branding is reflected in all their advertisements, which is great. I think the next step for them would just be to, optimize their standing on Google, and people are actually looking for HVAC in San Diego. But otherwise, AirPro has lots of functionalities on their online web presence that makes them a very competitive company in their area, right? So some key things that I want to highlight here for AirPro is the fact that they have really targeted ads on Facebook. They have seasonal promotions, hey, free furnace with an AC purchase, buy percent, so-and-so. And they have a, request an estimate online feature, which is really good. So next one we're going to take a look at is a very prominent company in the Phoenix, Arizona area, specifically in Mesa. If you're in the Phoenix area, you definitely heard of this company. I've worked with multiple HVAC companies in Phoenix, and customers, when they get a quote from us, they most definitely have a quote from Semperfi. And the first thing that you hear and see with Semperfi is their branding. Their entire image and branding is around serving veterans, literally in the name, right? So they have a 20% discount for veterans, first responders, and their families. That is their number one. That is their own, advantage that they've created over any company, right? So, customers with the, will tie the discount with the branding. When they hear Semperfi, they're always going, Semperfi caters to veterans. They have, a discount, right? Not every company can do this, but Semperfi has found their competitive advantage in the area by saying, hey, we provide discounts to veterans, so that all customers in this area are going to say, Semperfi, helps out veterans. But other than that, other than just having, very, very on-point branding is, builds a lot of trust, right? If you build trust with, being veteran-owned and operated, that's one way to, really build trust in the audience, having available promotions, and going over financing, right? Not a lot of companies have financing available, right? Like, what company is a lot of companies aren't able to tell you what the financing options look like until you get in the home with them. So by taking a look here, you can go through, financing with, Semperfi. Now, as much as, if this is really accurate, don't know. You kind of need to have a number in mind on how much you're paying, how much you need to finance. But having this available is going to save some customers a lot of pain points. Some customers don't know if they can get financed. And if they have a tool online to see if they're even available to pay for, Semper Fi's HVAC units, this is extremely helpful, right? So also another call to action of not just trying to sell people immediately on an estimate is I'm in an email newsletter. This is a great call to action to, get customers in the loop, right? To create immediate contact with customers, right? Send us a message, call the phone number, book online 24/7. This builds trust. Like, they're always available. I have multiple ways to contact them. I can even look at my financing options before I get someone to the door, right? This is, really, really helpful. What I do remember about Semper Fi is they used to allow users to get a quote before. They also have a request a quote online feature, right? So you can go to Semper Fi. When you go to their online advertising. So Semper Fi runs Facebook ads, and they also are very optimized on their Google presence. So I know they definitely spend money on Google ads and Google local SEO. So when we immediately come take a look, so here, get a HVAC quote online, right? You can click on learn more. It's going to take you to a landing page redirect. It's a type form, exactly like Air Pro, where they just have a type form built. They use a company called Upfrog to get this set up. Our company can get this set up for you as well, and we do this for some of our customers to have an online quote feature. But essentially, it's the same thing as Air Pro, like I talked about. You select a unit, what do you want, how big is your home, and then how many zones you have, your quote. Basically takes you step by step. They're going to send you a quote through text and email, and then have someone call you to schedule an estimate to talk more, to build that trust. But having, now we've seen, 2 major companies that use this as a feature, right? Having different options to allow customers to contact you is going to help a lot, right? Not only, having a great website, having multiple forms of contact, right? You're in their email inbox for the newsletter. You're texting you promotions. You've checked out their financing. You've talked to them on the phone. All those points of contact build trust, and Semper Fi really covers them all, right? Immediately when you look at HVAC in Mesa, Arizona, you're going to see Semper Fi, right, on the third one right there, right? They're very dominant on their Google reviews, and they're very high up there. In fact, when their website ranking, their SEO is doing really well as well. So the next company that we're going to look at is Sam's Air Control, but let's kind of go over what makes Semper Fi have such a great online web presence, right? They have strong branding, strong veteran branding, right? They talk about the emergency services. I mean, every company has that. They kind of go over the services. What Semper Fi doesn't really go over as much as they don't have really seasonal promotions, but they have promotions they always have, and their finance options are very clearly displayed because you can quite literally check with GoodLeap what options you have, right? So the next company we're going to take a look at is actually one of my clients, and they're doing a million per month here in Edison, New Jersey, right? So we're looking at companies that are obviously geographically positioned to win because we're in states and cities to where the climates are really good for air conditioning. New Jersey gets very cold, also gets very hot. Phoenix gets very hot. San Diego, I guess, is a little bit more mild. But here on Sam's Air Control, immediately when you come into the website, you have a form that pops up, right? You can see immediately, you can view your specials, see all the available promotions, right? And different call to actions, print a coupon. You can schedule a service immediately, and it's going to take you through an online form or you can call immediately to get in touch with someone from the company and schedule an appointment from that form above. So there's multiple points of contact that you can reach, and part of Sam's Air Control's branding is that, hey, we're a family-owned company serving all of Central New Jersey, right? Trust on a family-owned business is really built into this, and you can see this reflected throughout their website, showing their family, and having very great website reviews and multiple points of contact, right? Showing, building trust is, hey, we have 24 service available. This is the awards that we have, right? The credentials that we have. And most importantly is, when you search HVAC in Edison, New Jersey, Sam's Air Control is going to rank number 3, and we're also going to show up right here, right under Yelp on Google. So if anyone was looking for HVAC in Edison, they just made a search on Google, we're going to be one of the companies that rank first, right? And another thing is what we've done at our agency to really help them out is we've also created another website that covers the HVAC basics. So not only do we have a website that any customer can go to from Google, from Facebook, but immediately when you're a customer that comes in from our advertising, you're going to receive a link to this page, and you're going to be able to watch a video.
This is Sam Solomon, one of the owners of Sam's Air Control, family owned and operated in Edison, New Jersey. We are Jersey's best heating and air family. We service American Standard, Mitsubishi, and all other major brands for commercial and residential property.
So the point of this page is that when you're a customer that just opts into, a Google or a Facebook ad, you have so many questions, like who is this company, who's calling, who are they calling from, what brands do they carry, who is this? And we basically have an FAQ page with videos, from the company and a bunch of questions that are answered for them to understand more about our company, see all the HVAC basics before we come to the door, right? And then by the time that we call them to schedule an estimate, they've looked over everything. And then we do the estimate, we make a good first impression even before we, get to the door, right? So this is something that we built for them outside of just having a very good functional website. And, on our ads also for Sam's Air Control, we're running online ads. I'm pretty sure it's this one, where so this one, we have multiple, it's going to be this one. So on our online advertising, you can see that, we've gone through, it's very important to separate all your advertisements from the rest of your competitors. Is we, showcase different offers and promotions, and we show, the company's branding, right? All of these are very important. So many companies are running advertisements online. You need to differentiate yourself with branding, FAQs to answer the questions, multiple points of contact. And, I hope that by looking at the breakdown of all these companies, you have a good idea of, hey, here are the things that I need to build for my company's website or my online presence to improve it. That's what makes, these companies, 7-figure companies or 7-figure per month companies to be, right? Is there's multiple clear call to actions on the website, right? It builds a lot of trust. There's service specific areas where you can see, hey, this is what it's about, heating and cooling. You really see the customer reviews everywhere. There's different ways for customers to interact with you, fill out financing, get an online estimate, right? Message you, call you, whatever. And offers and discounts, seasonal offers, discounts are always shown on the website. Customers know exactly what's going on. They're going to tie, when they call you, it's probably because, hey, I saw this discount on your website, something like that, right? Having that available, that needs to show on your website so they have a reason to call you about. So I hope that you guys can take some of these that you learned, implement these on your website. If you guys want us to help you improve your online web presence for your HVAC business, Our company would love to help. Schedule a call with us, and we'd love to help. Thank you. Holy shit. Ugh.